Now there will be the speech of the guest of honor, Dr. Muna AbuSulayman, former founding Secretary General, Alwaleed bin Talal Foundation. Uh, she is a renowned leader of Muslim Ummah, and to save time to say little, I would say is an iconic Middle Eastern media personality and acknowledged international development leader with immense experience in the fields of women empowerment and poverty elevation. A World Economic Forum young global leader, she was appointed as the first Saudi UNDP Goodwill Ambassador and served as a regional expert for the UN World Humanitarian Summit. Anu Abu Sulaiman was the founding Secretary General of Al-Walid bin, as I said earlier, Talal Foundation, where she focused on promoting East-West dialogue. Dr. Mona has been continuously ranked one of the 100 most powerful Arabs for her work in media and entrepreneurship and development. I believe that this brief is too much deficient, and where Middle Eastern is written, it's actually a world leader from the world, and at the same time, the initiatives there are reflected are very important to take not only the Ummah to the next level of development, but to take the whole of the world to the next development with safety, security, and prosperity. Over to Dr. Mona Abu Sulaiman.
Thank you so much. I am honored to be here on behalf of my late father's family, the AbuSulayman family, Ayman, Yasser, Hanan, Shiraz, and of course my esteemed mother, the partner for my father's work, Mrs. Faiqa Malaika. I am honored to be part of this conference as well, because it is important to carry on the work that my father started. Thank you to Dr. Mandoor Alim and the Alim family for their long friendship and long work on the intellectual manifestation of Islamic thought around the world, but particularly in India, one of the largest countries in the world that has Muslims. They say that when there's a beautiful African proverb, they say that when an elder person dies, it is like you've burnt a library. And when people like my father and like his esteemed colleagues and friends pass away, it is not one library. You have burnt the Library of Alexandria. And it is important to have these kind of conferences and papers and workshops to make sure that this knowledge, whether it is on his personality or intellectual capabilities or management and leadership style, as well as his friends, Dr. Jabir Taha Alwani, Ismail al-Farouqi, and all the other great intellectuals, and comparisons between their work happen so that the next generation does not start from zero, but can build and grow. Alhamdulillah, my father was, as many people have said, was a visionary man, and he was an intellectual giant. But he was not only somebody who lived with his words. His personal life was a manifestation of his thought, of the way that he lived his life. His management style, he actually impacted others so that they can also grow. So it is not just about having a good philosophy, but being able to transmit it to his family, as well as to his students, to his colleagues, and to the world. And this is something that we all need to learn from. Alhamdulillah, my father did amazing work that we will be listening to from different papers and different speakers on ijtihad wa tajaddud, philosophy, the importance of revealed knowledge, of building the ummah, and most importantly, the importance of building the capabilities of the Muslim students and Muslim young people. But there's a couple of things that I would like to note in this conference for people who love my father and people who are listening. We need to do a documentary on my father by interviewing his colleagues and his students, a professional documentary that would collect information from people that knew him, that would provide a kind of evidence. It should be put in the library of the College of Revealed Knowledge. This documentary would enable the next generation to truly understand the breadth and width of his ideas. We need to also make his knowledge accessible to different sectors of society, easily accessible. We need to look at how can we make it some of his information, some of his works, some of his ideologies, some of his philosophies into social media, into YouTube, into newspaper articles, perhaps with evidence. So not just saying that he did this, but actual evidence of why it is important. There are a couple of PhD theses on my father that Dr. Omar Kasuri so kindly read a while back and noted that there is an inability to understand original thought. So my father had a lot of original thought. So how can you create references that would support that from his own works? This is something that needs to be done, again, to carry on to the next generation. And the last thing that I wanted to say is that I'm always honored to be part of these international conferences on my father, whether they were in Africa or Southeast Asia or the subcontinent or the Arab world. But I'm also carrying on my father's work. I am creating a fellowship for students who are from the age of 22 to young professionals to the age of 30 to understand Islamic heritage in the different sectors of society. So taking people who identify as Muslim in order to take them through a journey of knowing why should they be proud of being a Muslim, not faith-related Islamic heritage, Islamic civilization, the beauty of the philosophies, but also to give them the skills to resolve the conflicts that we have right now. So conflict resolution skills, persuasion skills, storytelling skills. And the last part is, one of the reasons my father was extremely successful, and this was mentioned in the speech of Dr. Sano, that there is a group of people that supported him and that worked with him. There were people that gave him chances, like Dr. Datu Siri Anwar Ibrahim, the prime minister. There were people that took on some of his responsibilities, like Dr. Ahmad Tutunji, Dr. Hisham Al-Talib, Dr. Jamal Barazanji. So how groups, it's not one person that did all of this. It's a group of people that had a mission and that had a vision. And this is the thing that we need to think about next, creating strong, fearless individuals who are proud of their Islamic heritage, giving them the skills, but also helping them create groups and support networks that allows them to actually do the work that they were meant to do. You do not have to be an Islamic scholar. All what you have to do is be a Khalifa on the earth. And this is what my father wanted. And I am so glad that I'm able to take a little bit of his philosophy and implement it in the way that I can. And I thank you so much for being here. My mother, who is a little not feeling so well, had wanted to see this. She's waiting for the recording, but she also wants to send her salams to every single person whom she knew who still honors my father's memory. Thank you all for being at this conference, and I hope to learn a lot from your experiences with my father's philosophies and management style. And this is my speech. Thank you.